I do have an update for you, and it's not the update that anybody really wanted to hear. The Ring magazine, as we've already said, owned by Turki Al Sheikh, they are reporting that Joseph Parker will now face Martin Bakole after Daniel Dubois was ruled out through illness. Earlier, last hour, Ben Shalom came on Sky Sports News, pushed Martin Bakole's name forward. Martin Bakole is currently in the Congo. We saw, Johnny Nelson and I, some pretty frantic phone calls taking place. Some people running to say, I must take this phone call. I would guess that that's from some pretty high up people here in the administration and in the promotion. And we now know, Johnny Nelson, if these reports are believed, and there is no reason to believe that they're not true, that Joseph Parker will now face Martin Bakole, the bogeyman of the division, the man that nobody wants to fight. Joseph Parker accepts that challenge.
First of all, I feel for Daniel Dubois because they're going to train so hard for this. That whatever's going on with him, Godspeed, whatever it is, I hope he gets well soon.
So Frank Warren confirmed to us that it was a virus.
Okay then, so I hope he gets well soon. That done. Who else could it be? If Martin Bakole put his name in the hat, it would be shame on the promoters, it'd be shame on everybody if they didn't pick him. Because if they got somebody else that realistically was a pushover, a filler, and one of the top 10 heavyweights is saying, let me in, I'll come in at 3 days' notice. And they ignore that. They say no, it's shame on them. And so I've got to give it to Riyadh team to giving the fight fans exactly what they want. This is one of the biggest and best bills we've seen in years, and they've made sure it lives up to expectations in regards to what's happened. Now Martin Bakole is that heavyweight that spoke about knocking out and beating up all these other heavyweights, top heavyweights, and not one of them has ever come and said he's lying. Not one of them has denied it. Not one of them said, no, that didn't happen. This guy's in the Who Needs Him club. So right now, with this fight happening, I'm thinking, Joseph Parker's thinking, give me a break. Not that guy. But if it's going to happen, because Martin Bakole will fight him, he's chipping himself into a position where he's fighting for a world title. So this is your easiest possible chance to get him out of there. He's been given 3 days' notice. So Joseph Parker, I don't know if it'll be for the interim title, I don't know what they'll say, but Joseph Parker, this is his best opportunity to get rid of this bogeyman and do every other heavyweight in the division a favour, because they don't want to fight him. They develop amnesia. Nobody shouts his name out. They did a show once between he and Anthony Joshua at a standoff, as though to say there was going to be a big fight in Congo. I saw Martin after that. He said, Anthony's not going to fight me. That fight is that was just a show. They don't want to know. I am so happy for him and Billy Nelson. I am so happy for these guys, and the fans will get exactly what they're looking forward to.
Now, people at home might be wondering, if you're not an avid boxing fan, who Martin Bakole is. He's an enormous, big punching fighter who fights out of Democratic Republic of Congo. Most recently and most impressively on a Riyadh season card out in America. I mean, he did a real number on Jarrell Miller, on the other big baby Miller, Jared Anderson, forgive me, who's called Big Baby, did a real number on everyone was sort of saying Jared Anderson was like the best of the chasing pack. Martin Bakole, against the odds, did a real number. Yeah. Beat Tony Yoka, beat Carlos Takam. He's an absolute handful. So, okay, he's not come in with a fight day imminent, but he was in camp, at the start of camp, to face F.A. Ajagba. Mm-hmm. But more than anything, a heavyweight who has a hell of a lot of ambition and believes in himself at the moment, Martin Bakole.
It's a lesson for all fighters, not just heavyweights. Look at Josh Padley on the inner card. He lived in the gym. You can't play boxing. You can play tennis, football, cricket, golf, everything. You can't play boxing. You've got to be your career. It's got to be what you do. And then opportunity knocks. Opportunities knocks for Martin Bakole. And I'm glad opportunity is not for him, because otherwise it rinsed him out to the point where they're giving an opportunity when they least expect it, where he's giving up heart. Now let's talk about the potential fight, if the fight does happen, against Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, I still think, now he comes in his career heaviest. But Bakole is a heavy-handed, thudding puncher. Stamps on the front foot. His style is completely different from Daniel Dubois, but he knows what he's doing. He knows how to hunt down an opponent. He'll give it his all. And so we still have a fight in our hands. We don't know side A is going to beat side B. We now are thinking, wow, this could really turn everything on its head. Can you imagine Bakole winning? Bakole steps in, everybody's out of the picture because he now gets a chance against Alexander Usyk, the only one out of everybody that hasn't fought Alexander Usyk, and everybody else is by the wayside thinking, you know what, you keep it. You keep it until you walk away. He's that guy.
Let me quickly recap then. So Daniel Dubois fell ill earlier today, was assessed by a doctor. We now know that he didn't pass that exam. He has a virus. We wish Daniel all the best in his recovery. Plenty of frantic phone calls. Martin Bakole has answered that call, as is being widely reported by other outlets. Martin Bakole will now step in to face Joseph Parker on The Last Crescendo live on Sky Sports Box Office.